Hit record. Awesome. Thank you. Hi, guys. Welcome to our monthly Shred 10 call. It is what? It is March 15th. So spring is right around the corner, which we're super excited about. We've got some people on this call from California in like the sun, although rain today. And then we've got some people in the Northeast that are in 2 feet of snow. So it's like, we're all over the place, but spring is right around the corner. So we're super excited about that. So welcome everybody to the call. I love this monthly call because me personally, and I know a few of us others on here, we're super passionate about our Shred 10 program because it's done so much for us. It's done a lot of things for our family, for our friends. So we love to get the word out there, and you've probably seen a lot of us post about it every month, and maybe kind of got a little bit curious about what it is and what's involved, but maybe never asked. But you were invited to this call tonight to learn about the Shred 10 because the person that invited you cares about you. And, we all want to be healthier people, right? We all want to live a healthy lifestyle. We all want to feel our best. We want to be the best versions of ourselves. And when we feel good and when we feel healthy, we're happier people, right? We just, life is so much better when we feel good. So that's what the Shred 10 does for a lot of us. So I just wanted to start by introducing myself. My name is Allison, and I've actually been doing the shreds now for almost 2 years, which is crazy that it's time goes by really quick. And my health journey started about 7 years ago. I woke up one morning with a neck pain that was just horrible. And the neck pain actually never went away. I ended up with chronic neck pain for about 2 years straight. And I saw many doctors, I saw specialists, I had MRIs done, you name it, I saw the specialists and tried to figure out what was wrong. Nobody could figure out what was wrong with me. I had doctors tell me that there was absolutely nothing wrong with me, that I was crazy. I had doctors telling me, oh, you're just stressed. And it was very frustrating. It was a horrible time in my life. And, I would go and get a massage, or I would go do something, and it just, nothing ever made it go away. And so I got to the point where I started to get really frustrated and had to become my own doctor, had to start doing my own research, and I found out about food elimination and inflammatory foods and how foods can affect our bodies in so many different ways. At that point, I went and saw a naturopath and a chiropractor, and both recommended to try the food elimination. And, for those that know me, those that don't know me, I'm a foodie. Like, I love food so much. Like, I love cooking food. I love eating food. I collected cookbooks as a child. Yeah, you too, right? You love food and you love eating food. I think everybody on here probably does. I collected cookbooks in college. Like, I was like this crazy person that just, I loved pasta. I loved cheese. I loved ice cream, bread. I mean, you name it. I loved it. And so somebody coming to me and saying, all right, it's time to eliminate things like gluten and dairy and sugar. I was like, you want me to what? Like, what am I supposed to eat, right? There's no other foods out there besides that. And that's honestly how I felt. So it was really scary for me. It was not an easy thing. I didn't think it was something that I could do, but I was definitely at my wit's end at the point with this pain, because I had 2 little kids. It wasn't something that I could live with anymore. So took matters into my own hands, and I dove right into it. I said, this is it. I've got to try it. So I did, it was actually a 21-day program that I did at the time, where I actually eliminated all grains, and I eliminated dairy and processed sugar, all sugars, including fruit, which was like kind of the craziest thing I ever did. I'll never eliminate fruit ever again, but I did eliminate fruit at the time. But you name it, I eliminated it. And after the 21 days, my neck pain disappeared. It was the first time in like 2.5 years that I did not have any neck pain. And to me, it was a miracle that it was just gone. But, me, again, being the foodie that I was and loving food, I was in denial. I was like, no way, it's not the food. This has got to be a joke. So I started eating the food again. The neck pain would come back. I would get rid of it for a few weeks, the neck pain would go away, and then I'd eat it again. And I literally yo-yoed back and forth for about 1.5 years in denial. It was just because it was really hard for me to think that food could be doing this to my body. But it was. So after about a year and a half, I said, okay, this is it. This is my new life. I have to continue to eat this way, because when I eat this way, I feel good. I don't have any inflammation. I also noticed my moods were better. And every time I added like gluten back into my diet, I became a complete bitch. Like, I'll just say it. My mood was like, it was crazy. It was, I was grumpy. I was not in a good mood. And it made me think like, wow, like how long has this food been affecting me and me not even really realizing it? So that was kind of the beginning of my journey. The second part of my journey started about 2 years ago when the Shred10 was introduced to me, and Becky, who's on the phone, introduced me, hi Becky, to the Shred10. So I was following her on Facebook. She was posting about the Shred10. She was posting about the Juice Plus products, which we'll talk about later. And I got a little intrigued, and intrigued but skeptical at the same time, because at that point, I had been eating, really strict for a long time, for probably about 5 years. And I was really picky about what I was putting into my body. I didn't want to put any supplements, any chemicals, anything that wasn't real food. I didn't want to put into my body. But she talked to me about it. She introduced the products to me. I learned more. I did my own research, and it made me realize, I was like, wow, I don't think I actually eat fruits and vegetables as much as I think I do. It's, once you think about it and you think about actually what you're putting into your body every day, it's really hard to get in 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables. And I realized at the time that I just wasn't. And, on top of that, yeah, I was eating foods that were not inflammatory to my body, and they were not causing neck pain, but I was still getting sick all the time. I was getting sinus infections. I was colds all the time. Actually, 3 years ago, I had mono at the age of 40, which was just, that was not a fun time to have mono at the age of 40. It was horrible. So I was getting sick. I was still tired all the time. I'm like, why am I dragging? Why am I tired? I don't have any energy. So something was missing, and I wasn't sure what it was. And I thought, maybe this could be it, maybe not. So I decided to give it a try. And so I started, when she introduced the Shred program to me, I loved it because it already aligned with my values with food. It was already eliminating all those inflammatory foods. So I was like, wow, this is really cool. This is something that I can do. And so I gave it a try. My husband was on board. We did the Shred10 together. And right off the bat, within, a week, our energy levels were through the roof. We were waking up in the morning without an alarm all of a sudden. And, I'm a person that hits snooze all the time. I put my alarm on earlier so I can hit snooze 5 times before I get up. And all of a sudden I was waking up before my alarm every day. Which was to me amazing, because I had all this energy and this sustained energy during the day that I just never had anymore. So I felt really good. I wasn't feeling bloated anymore. I got that energy back, and I don't know, I had a clearer mind. My mind was just super clear. So those were the initial things that I noticed when I first did the Shred. Fast forward 9 months, when I had and I was continuing with the products and still continuing to eat clean. I actually, with the Shred, added some foods back into my diet. So I haven't been as strict as I used to. And I love it, because I was almost too strict before, to the point where I didn't think it was something that I could sustain for life. And I felt like I got on this good track of finding foods that I could really sustain. I could really sustain this lifestyle for the rest of my life, looking for a long-term healthy lifestyle. And that's what the Shred is all about. So again, fast forward 9 months, I had blood work done. My cholesterol went down 40 points, which was amazing. My husband's IBS completely disappeared. My kids have been on the products too, and my son has had constipation issues his whole life, and those are gone. Our immune systems have been amazing. No one in my family has been on antibiotics since we've been on the product for almost 2 years now. So little colds here and there. We haven't gotten the flu. We haven't gotten, the stomach bugs, all those crazy things that go around. Our immune systems have been unbelievable. So for me, it's been such a fantastic thing. So what is the Shred, right? Let's get into the Shred. So the Shred is 10 days of shredding unhealthy habits. It's not lose 10 pounds in 10 days, although, you know, losing weight can be a great side effect to the shred, but it's shredding unhealthy habits that might not be serving you right now. So during the 10 days, we're eliminating some foods. We are eliminating gluten, we're eliminating dairy, and we're eliminating processed sugar. So those are all foods that can be very inflammatory to our body. Not only can they cause inflammation, pain, but they can also cause you to not have energy, to not sleep well. They can cause skin issues, all sorts of things, mood, like I mentioned before. So I think a lot of us become accustomed to the way we feel every day. And if we're tired every day, we're like, oh, this is just normal. And we go through life thinking that we're feeling, you know, how we're supposed to feel, when in reality, our bodies are meant to feel really good. And that's what the shred is meant to do. It's meant to help you find that healthiest version of you. So we're eliminating those three things. We're also eliminating alcohol and caffeine during the 10 days, which I know can be really hard for people. A lot of people are used to, I know a lot of people are used to getting up in the morning and they're like, oh my God, I need my cup of coffee. Like I can't do anything without my cup of coffee. That's just, and your glass of wine, right? At night, you get home from work and you're like, I need my glass of wine. Or like the weekend, Becky, we know how much you got, you know, we all love wine, all of us, right? So, but it's really important just to give your body time and to see how good your body can feel off stimulants. And it's only 10 days. It's only one weekend without wine. So everybody can do it, right? Everybody can do anything for 10 days. So, but again, you know, with the coffee, your body is just used to waking up and feeling that way. Your body thinks it needs the caffeine, when in reality, we need to teach our bodies to have energy through food, right? We need to fuel our body with the right foods to sustain energy throughout the day. So my husband and I have been caffeine free for 9 years now. And we don't need caffeine to have energy throughout the day. Like we get up in the morning, we have our good breakfast, and we don't have that afternoon crash anymore. You know, every once in a while I have, you know, tea that might have some caffeine in it. Tea doesn't have the same effect on me as coffee does, but we don't need the caffeine to make it through the day anymore. So again, it's teaching your body, you know, how to get that energy through food. So we are eliminating caffeine and alcohol through the 10 days. Not only are we taking stuff out, but we're also adding things in, right? Because we want to get rid of the bad habits and we want to bring on the good habits. So we are hydrating every day, drinking a ton of water. We are exercising. So no matter what that is for you, you know, maybe you exercise every day now, maybe you do yoga, maybe you lift weights, maybe you cycle, maybe you're a runner. If you do nothing, go for a walk. Like it can be as simple as going for a walk. We now on our Healthy Living Revolution page, we've got some online workouts that you can do at home, which can be modified for all different levels. So those are fantastic too and available for everybody. So hydrating, exercising, also sleep. Sleep is a huge thing, right? So to a healthy lifestyle, we need our sleep. So getting, 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. And then the last thing is not eating past 6:30 at night. And I know that can be really hard for people with their schedules, but it's really important to give our bodies times to rest and digest at night before you go to bed. So giving yourself 3 to 4 hours for your body to digest before you go to bed. And then kind of giving yourself a total of 12 to 14 hours between your dinner and your breakfast the next morning. And, for me, I know I used to eat late all the time. And when I would eat late, I wake up, I don't sleep well, and I feel horrible the next morning. So that was one of my biggest things when I did my first shred, was teaching myself to eat earlier in the day, because when I do, my sleep is much better. And then I wake up in the morning feeling so much better. So it is the sleep, sleeping and not eating, late. So I think I touched upon all the things. So the other things that we are adding in, and Stacy's going to go into this more, is we're adding in our Juice Plus products. So we have our Juice Plus capsules. There are fruits, vegetables, and berries in a capsule. Yes, so Stacy has there too. And then also our shakes. So we're adding in, we've got these awesome shakes. There's chocolate and vanilla. And these are all filled with superfoods and more fruits and vegetables. And so we're doing 2 shakes a day. And those shakes can be added in as a snack or a meal replacement. So what I do personally is I add in one as a meal and one as a snack during the day. Some people will do the shakes for 2 meals. So it all depends on how you want to do it and what your schedule is. We don't tell people you have to have a shake for breakfast and then have a certain meal. Everybody's schedules are different. Everybody has different jobs. So, we kind of go over in our group, which we'll talk about later, different ways to work it, but everybody kind of does it according to their own schedule and how it works best for them. So I'm going to turn it over to Stacy. She's going to talk about specifics about the products. Stacy, you can unmute yourself and then we'll come back to me.
Hi. All right, I'm going to apologize in advance because my dog keeps barking, and even though I walked him up until the very last second, there he goes. So you're probably going to hear him. Okay, so we're going to talk about the products. So during the 10-day shred, we do talk about adding in these beautiful fruits, vegetables, and berries. And so every day, so hopefully before you start the shred, you'll have gotten your products and you will start these things first. And let's talk about what these things are. So we have in our products something truly miraculous, in my opinion. I think a lot of people would agree with me. These are, in one serving, which is 2 of each capsule, over 30 different fruits and vegetables and berries. So I don't know anywhere else in the world where you can get such incredible produce. The dog is so distracting. Sorry, my daughter's trying to, he's not stopping. But where you can get so much produce put into your body by either swallowing the capsules or taking the yummy gummies. So if you haven't tried these yet, I highly recommend trying to get your hands on some. It's like crack in my house. I mean, you keep going into the jars. They're so good. So let's start with the fruit. So we have the Orchard blend right here, and I'm sure it all looks backwards, and I'll show you what the capsules look like. So if you're adverse to swallowing capsules, you can always open these up and dump them into your smoothie, or you can chew the gummies. So the Orchard blend is, we'll go through this quickly. You're getting apples, peaches, cranberries, orange, papaya. I don't know how you say this word. I always say it differently. Arceola cherry, pineapple, prune, date, and beets. We'll go through the veggie blend. And then in this one, you're getting broccoli, parsley, tomato, carrot, garlic, beet, spinach, cabbage, oat bran, rice bran, and kale. And then finally in the berry blend, raspberry, bilberry, blueberry, cranberry, pomegranate, Concord grape, blackcurrant, blackberry, elderberry. Never eaten an elderberry in my life. Artichoke, and cocoa or cacao. So how, you might be wondering how are we getting all these plants into these guys, right? So what happens is our farmers that we use for Juice Plus are small and mid-sized farmers that all practice non-GMO farming. And we do know that our plants have the most amount of nutrients when they are harvested on the vine. So all of our fruits and vegetables are vine ripened. Then they're taken to our plant where they are cold pressed juiced. And what that means is that they are put into a juicer, but under low heat. And when you have low heat, what that means is you're locking in as much of the nutrients as possible. So we know, for instance, when we cut open an apple and it turns, brown inside, it's oxidizing, and that means it's losing some nutrient density. So the slower you do it, so if you're ever going to go get a cold pressed juice, that's the way you want it, not anything that's been stirred up too much, to lock in as much of the goodness as possible, all of the nutrients. And then they are crushed, they are dehydrated, and then crushed and put into the capsules or into the gummy form. And so it really is the next best thing to fruits and vegetables, to actually eating it. During the shred, of course, we want you to eat as many fruits and vegetables as possible. And after the shred, continue to eat as many fruits and vegetables as berry. But by getting in these guys, you're really making sure every day you are getting as many plants into your body as possible. You're getting the rainbow in, is the new terminology, meaning something from every colored food group that will help you get a balance of nutrition into your body. So before, during, and after, keep going with these guys. These will change your life. Then also, as Allison touched on, is our shakes here. It comes in chocolate and vanilla. These guys have 13 grams of protein, right? And they have a low glycemic index. And the plants that come from these are vegan. Oh, and these are now vegan, the purple ones. I just got my new shipment. Just right now, the rest of them are coming out in vegan form. The capsules are not vegan quite yet, it seems, in the red and green, but the purple are. The shakes are definitely vegan and they're kosher. And it's called complete because it's meant to be a complete meal, like Allison said. Sometimes during a shred, I always have one as a meal. And when I do, I bulk it up with all kinds of, I shove lots of stuff in there, some fruits and vegetables, you know, some kale, some spinach, some gluten-free oats. I throw nuts in just to get a little bit more staying power from them. So when I have mine for a meal, I can go about 3 hours generally. So it holds me pretty well. But you're getting some interesting stuff in here. So it's our own proprietary blend, and it is made with soy and chickpea powder, rice protein. And then there's all kinds of things like alfalfa sprouts and radish sprouts and spirulina powder, yucca powder, mushroom powder. I do want to say that all of our products are, like I said, are kosher, but they also carry, if you can see right there, it says NSF on there. And what that means is that a third party is independently testing our products to make sure that what's in here is really what's in here and it is totally clean. So lately I've had quite a few people show me, some report must have come out about how a lot of protein powders are not good for us. And they were asking, is there arsenic in our rice protein? There is not arsenic in our rice, in our protein powder, because it's tested for that. And if it was, it wouldn't be coming out to you. So that's the products. Yummy, yummy, right? And so good for us. And I'm going to pass it back to Allison.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Stacey. Yeah. So, you know, as Stacey said, you're getting this rainbow of fruits and vegetables every day. And I don't know about you, but when I go to the grocery store, and even for my kids too, when I think about my kids, we eat the same fruits and vegetables over and over again. Like I get the same thing every single time I go. My kids, you know, they eat cucumbers, tomatoes, and peppers. They're not getting in the broccoli and the kale and, you know, all this other great stuff that's in the Juice Plus products. So when you're adding that in, you're getting in 30 different plants into your body every day. Then with the shakes, you're getting another 15, or actually 30, because you're having 2 shakes. So you're getting in all of these other plants into your body every day. And it really helps with that reset and really getting you on, on a good, beginning to a long-term healthy lifestyle. So it's really been an amazing product. So I am actually going to we're going to hear a few stories from, before I do that, I want to talk about our Facebook page, because I forgot to mention that before. So when you join the Shred10, we have this awesome community of people. We have a private Facebook page that everybody gets added into. And once you're on the page, you're there forever. So on the Shred10 page, we have, daily posts with motivation. We have information about the shred. We share recipes. We have everybody that comes on will share their smoothies. They'll share the meals that they're having, tons of recipe ideas. People ask questions all the time. And so it's great because every month we have new people coming on and there's always new questions being asked. So we're all always learning something new every single month. We also have people that will come on that are super interactive, and then we have people come on that maybe you don't want to be interactive, and that's totally okay. You can be what I call a creeper. You can just come on and you can look and see what everybody's doing, and you can get your ideas, and you don't need to say anything at all if you don't want to. So there's no pressure ever to be totally active, but to be on there and see what's going on, and just to know you have the support, because we have people that come on there, they talk about, their successes of the day. They talk about their struggles of the day, challenges that they're having, whether it be with what they're eating or their schedule. And there's so many of us on there that can help with that. And then we have past shredders. It's really cool because we have past shredders that come on. They've done it a bunch of times, and then they're starting to help people. So it's a really fun interactive group. We have also, that's emailed to you, we have a Shred10 guide that goes through all the guidelines and why we do certain things and what it's doing for your body. We have a Shred10 cooking guide, which if you can see, it's got tons of recipes in here. And then we also have this Healthy Living Revolution cookbook, which has more great recipes, and it's food recipes, it's shake recipes, it's protein ball recipes that you can use our protein powder with. So that's all really good stuff for our Facebook group. So I'm going to pass it next on to Karen. Karen's going to share. She just finished her shred. right? And so we're going to pass it off to her. Can you unmute yourself? Or actually, I can unmute you. I just unmuted you. And you're going to share.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Hi. So Stacy's my cousin, and I joined Juice Plus and Shred because she was so enthusiastic and believed in it so much, and her kids were doing it, and this was right before her son's bar mitzvah, so we went out to the bar mitzvah, and she always looks phenomenal to me, but she felt really phenomenal. She made it very clear that she was doing something really, really good, and her husband was too. So I took about 6 months, I think, before I signed on, and I wanted to get through my daughter's bat mitzvah as well. I have been a yo-yo weight person my entire life, so I've done everything, I think almost everything short of surgery. And so I wanted to wait till I came back from Israel. We went to Israel after the bat mitzvah, and I did my first shred about that time, and it was a pretty simple process for me. The first shred, I tried to keep it going after the shred and continue on for 30 days, which I did. The one mistake I think that I made, and I was feeling really good and I knew I had lost a few pounds, was I didn't take on a commitment for myself as far as what lifestyle changes I wanted to make. So after the 30 days were over, I slowly kind of went back to all of my old habits, and about the holiday time came, and after that I was feeling pretty cruddy. And when I say feeling pretty cruddy, I was literally couldn't get off the sofa. So it was, even the thought of just getting up to get a drink of water was effort. And I didn't know at the time, but my blood pressure had really gone up. I have never had high blood pressure. I've always had very low blood pressure. So my blood pressure had gone up to 150 over 86. I was pre-diabetic. I'm got menopause going right now, which is a whole nother slice of life. If you're not there, you know, we'll talk about it later, but everything slows down quite a bit. And I just wasn't active. I wasn't feeling good about myself. I was growing out of my clothes at a rapid rate. So I called Stacy. Stacy said, why don't you do the January shred? I couldn't do the January shred, so I jumped into the February shred. And I did have, you know, the headaches the first couple days, but it was pretty easy, and I did do the prep work, which really, really helps. And I make a big pot of the chili, which is really good, and my family likes it too. And then I decided after I got done with the shred, I was going to do the same thing, except I made one conscious decision, which was I'm going to continue not eating gluten, dairy, and sugar as part of a healthy lifestyle choice moving forward. Just dump that out of my lifestyle. And that was that I think has made a huge difference. So I kind of, I went off the shred, but I never really went off the shred. I continued, and then I started the next shred. So I just finished the next shred, and I'm looking forward to it just becoming a part of my normal life. So I went to the doctor this week, and for a skin tag, and she took my blood pressure, and she said, wow, what are you doing? Your blood pressure is like 114 over 70. And I know a lot of it too is I've made a conscious effort to get active as well. So I'm doing the food, I'm doing the capsules, I'm really keeping up with the activity, so I make sure I'm doing everything. I could basically, 6 minutes on the elliptical, I was ready to like throw up. I can just like jog for an hour now on the elliptical. It's just not a problem at all. Also, my daughter, who is an athlete and a soccer player, has been watching this whole thing, and she's just decided to do the shred. So she's going to be 14 in April, and she started today. So she started prepping yesterday. So that's pretty exciting, and she wants to really make a commitment to eating and being healthy.
That is awesome, Karen. Thank you so much for sharing. I love your story, and you made a good point, because I think that happens with a lot of us, like, you know, similar to me, like you do it and then you hop off and then you don't feel good, and you're like, okay, like this is how I feel good. Doing this makes me feel good. So you kind of get to that point where you're like, I can make this a lifestyle. And I think the shred for a lot of people it's just so doable. And you know, we try to focus on not depriving yourself and, you know, finding that good balance where you can feel healthy and not feel deprived. So it is something that you can maintain for the rest of your life. Right. And, because we just want to continue to feel good. And I love that for the 14-year-old, like it's good for kids, it's good for adults, it's good for older people, it's good, you know, it's good for, you know, pregnant moms, like, you know, anybody out there can take these products, can do the shred, because it's just really fueling your body with real whole unprocessed foods, you know, not the chemicals, not anything synthetic, not anything like that. So, you know, good for you for you know, wanting to continue to do it and, you know, making it that lifestyle. I always tell people all the time, I'm like, well, I'm shredding all the time, pretty much. Maybe I'm not doing 2 shakes a day all the time, but, you know, sticking to that no gluten, no dairy. And maybe, like you said, you know, it becomes a choice for you, right? So we always tell people, you know, if you decide to have a piece of bread when you go out to dinner one night, that's okay. Like, you're not cheating. Like, you're just making a choice to have the piece of bread. You have the piece of bread, you enjoy it, and then you move on and you know, you get back to your healthy lifestyle for the rest of the week. So it's finding that balance. And so that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
Well, thank
I'm
you.
going to next pass it to Sandy to share her story. I just unmuted you, Sandy.
Okay, can everybody hear me? This is my 10th shred that I just finished. I'm not used to this. It's like I'm used to hearing, are you Allison? Anyways, I started noticing things right away, and I started also documenting everything that was happening to me, which was cravings for food, bad food were going away. My moods were changing. My blood pressure went from 150/95 to 120/63, which was phenomenal for me. The biggest game changer on the shred for me was my shakes. I've bought so many protein powders, and I'm sure you all have, that you're excited to get them, but they don't taste good. So once I tried this, I said, oh my God, I can actually do this. I can actually drink this the next day. Because it's always, you can get through the first day with the bad shake. It's the second day that you're like, how am I going to do this? But then you take it and you're like, I'm good. I started documenting everything that was happening to me, and I started sharing with my family and friends. And then so many people were asking me questions that I started documenting and sharing my story on social media. And everybody that knows me, I cook constantly. That's all I do is cook. And everybody's like, do you eat all that food? I do. Well, with my husband, I do. But so I would make it a dinner every night, and I would post it, and people would constantly ask, what are you doing? What are you eating? Can you eat all that? And I'd be like, yep, you can totally enjoy this. You have to eat stuff without ingredients, and people have a hard time with that. And so I would say, if you eat a banana, it's just a banana. If you eat a box of Cheez-Its, you're eating Cheez-Its and everything in that box. And they have a hard time understanding that concept. So that's how I tried to explain it to people. So the biggest thing for me was also my immune system. My daughter owns her own studio, and I do a lot of her babysitting. I haven't had one sickness this year. And that was really huge, because being around babies and kids, you're always getting something. I didn't get one thing. So that was really awesome. So other than me documenting and sharing my food, I started doing the business because people started asking. So here it is, into my 10th shred, and I'm also in the business, and I love it.
That's awesome, Sandy. Thank you so much for sharing. So Sandy made a really good point, because I love all of Sandy's posts. She literally is like Master Chef. Like, her food always looks amazing, and everyone's always like, what are you eating now? But it's, you know, the point she made was, people are always asking, like, can you really eat all that food? Yes. Like, when you're fueling your body with whole unprocessed foods and not processed boxed bag foods, you can eat food. And so, and that's what this program, now my dogs are barking. I think my daughter's just getting home from dance. But that's what this program is all about. It's all about learning to fuel your body with the right foods, and it's eating foods. It's not, yes, we're adding in our Juice Plus products, and those add in so much extra nutrition, but this program isn't about having supplements all day. It's about learning how to eat healthy so you can, do that and maintain it for the rest of your life. And we're not counting calories. We're not weighing food. We're not doing anything like that. If you're hungry, you eat food, you eat compliant shred food, but if you're hungry, you eat food. So there's no, little bird-sized meals that you're eating. Like my breakfasts my plates are filled with, I eat eggs and kale and fruit and, all this stuff. So no one should ever be hungry on this. And, I love that point that you made, Sandy, because I think people sometimes think that they need to eat, these small amounts of foods, but when you're eating real food, you can eat more food, which is great. So thank you so much for sharing. So I think that's it. Does anybody have any questions for us? I can unmute everybody. You have a question, Lisa?
I just want to say that I love Becky so much, and I'm so grateful. Well, Allison, thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you for your testimony, and I love your story. And it's so amazing that you and Becky have the same thing going on, that there was pain, there was uncomfortability, and this product really brought you both to square one, in a sense, like of optimal health. And I'm just grateful for Becky because she's been not only a wonderful friend, but just wonderful in reminding me that, hey, your health is important and you're important. I mean, I think we forget that, yeah, fast food is, it's convenient, but it's not what we deserve. What we deserve is that fresh food. What we deserve is the vitamins, the minerals. And I'm grateful for Becky reminding me of that. And for you, Allison, thank you so much. Sorry for my extra little.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
Sharing your beautiful testimony. But yeah, I'm just super excited, and it brings a smile on all of our faces, I think, when us as women are all empowered and all happy and all feeling better. And I just love that we can come together and motivate each other to be the best that we can be. So thank you
so much, Lisa. I mean, maybe Becky, you want to add too, but I think you hit it right on the nail. Like we're so passionate about, our own health and our family's health and what this product has done for us and for everybody that we love, that we just, we want to share it with everybody, like it's a gift that we want to teach everybody and share with everybody, because everybody has the ability to feel really good and be happy, and, the community and being around like-minded people who want to feel good. And so it's really cool. I don't know if Becky, you want to add anything?
Yeah, you guys just literally said the combination of everything that I want to say. I think one of my favorite parts about the whole Shred is not only feeling better than I've ever felt, but the community, the motivation, the inspiration, the recipes, the education. Like, you're never, ever alone in this. You have a question, you pop it on the Facebook group, and someone's getting back to you, like, usually within a couple minutes. It's just, it's really fun being part of this like-minded community of just sharing healthy ideas and just little things to be a little bit healthier every day. So it's really, again, the community too that comes along with it, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. And just like this, like meeting new people,
Right. Right. I got all these new friends tonight.
Yeah.
Yay! The mushy-gushy moments so we can share together. Yay!
Does anyone else have any other questions? Comments? Oh, Juliet. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I don't have a question, but I just want to say, Allison, I totally appreciated your story. I thought it was really powerful. And I just want to let you know I could totally relate to it because I suffered from chronic pain for 4 years until I started taking Juice Plus.
Oh.
Wow.
And it has totally saved my life. So yeah, your story really resonated with me. And just like your situation, I went to so many different health professionals and they told me I was going to have to live with this pain the rest of my life. And, you know, going on Juice Plus, the pain finally went away. So, you know, I don't know who's watching this call, but if you're thinking about doing the shred, highly recommend it. It's, like I said, it's changed my life. So thanks for sharing.
Thank you so much, Julia, for sharing. That's awesome. And I think you make a good point because we never know what Juice Plus is going to do for each person, but it's done so many amazing things for so many people. Like when you're fueling your body every day with tons of fruits and vegetables, only good things can happen, right? So we never know what it's going to do for us, but it's the stories and hearing everybody's, you know, all of your stories and what it's done for you, and everybody's story is a little different. So thank you so much for sharing. That's awesome that you've been on it that long and that you've had some, you know, amazing, positive, you know, things happen for you. So Stacey?
Yeah, I wanted to add that, you know, I did my first shred last January, and every single shred I do, I get something totally different out of it. And I love that each experience is different, and you have good shreds and you have bad shreds, and it doesn't matter because I just keep shredding. And but the thing that Allison, you hit on it earlier that I just want to stress to people is, you know, sometimes you don't see some changes, but the one thing I always notice when I shred is that my gut feels so good that it's almost like you're lighter from the inside, like some sort of weight has been lifted inside your body, like your gut just feels so good. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize how good you can really feel because we're so used to feeling crappy, that when you start to feel good, at some point that aha moment's gonna kick in and you're gonna say, I really don't want to feel like that. And every once in a while I make that choice and I eat the stuff that I know doesn't work for me, and I feel so horrible, and I don't sleep well, and my workouts are horrible, and I start shredding, and then within it's like gone. So my system is getting so adjusted to feeling good that it eliminates what it doesn't like much faster than it used to. But I just love that feeling of the inside of me feeling good, not just my, you know, mom brain going away, but the interior lightness. I'm getting nudged by my daughter here. She's because she doesn't always feel good. Look, I'm going to put you on. And she's getting embarrassed. That's what she gets for lying on my lap. But
I love it.
I just wanted to stress that. So it's just something you have to try, and you can't explain it until you experience it. But it can happen for anybody. It really can.
Right. Thank you, Stacey. Yeah, you're right. You never know what it's going to do. And, you know, like you said, like your gut feels good. You feel lighter. You know, I mentioned the clear mind. I also mentioned, like, I just feel happier just because I just feel so much better in general. So it's a really cool thing. So I apologize. I know we went way over the 30 minutes, but we all get so excited about talking about the shred that just sometimes that happens. So does anyone else have any other questions before we hop off? So our next shred starts April 2nd. So it's Monday, April 2nd is our next shred. So if you are interested in joining the next shred, just contact the person that invited you to this call. If you're watching it after the fact and watching the recording, you can contact the person that sent you the recording. They'll get you all set up, and hopefully we'll see you all on the Facebook page. And, you know, we all become great friends on there. So it's really exciting. So if nobody else has any other questions, we will hop off. I'm actually going to stop the recording.
Oh, I wanted to ask really quick, Allison, I invited a lot of people into this call. Is there a way